Welcome back to another episode of the CG Sitdown. We are here with Sage on this episode. We're going to ask them some questions about FFA, how stuff's going there. So, first of all, how you doing today?
Doing really well. How are you, Ryder?
Not too shabby.
PJ?
Doing okay.
Perfect.
All right, so we're going to start off with, we just had the Greenhand conference, which you being pretty high up on the district officers that we kind of had to take control of. So, how did that go?
The Greenhand conference went really well. We don't have a hard number, but we ran 780 Scantrons, meaning 780 kids took the test and 21 were not supposed to take the test. So if there was no errors, there should have been about 801 kids there, which is really, really cool. That's the largest Greenhand conference in South Central District history. And the district officer team's been working on that. I was thinking about it earlier. I think our first work day was like June 7th.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of hard work went into that. And especially in like the last month, Canton-Galva FFA has took on a lot of that with me.
Right.
Being the district president. I've obviously needed some support from my chapter, and I couldn't be more thankful because they took on a lot of roles in that Greenhand conference. I think we took 22 non-Greenhands to help out. So whether they were group leaders or running the test, y'all did a really good job, and I'm super thankful for that.
Yeah, and everything went really well from, what I could see. Everything seemed seamless almost, and not very much confusion, which with that many kids and that many groups, you'd think that you'd have it pretty bad. But you just said something about you being district president. So how did that journey get there, and how has that been so far?
So the process to run for district office obviously was last spring. I think we talked on our last podcast, this is my second time on there. I think we kind of mentioned that in the last one. But that process, we kind of took off running. We started at state convention. We got to serve in some different roles in state convention, whether that be we helped out with the opportunity fair or we led some of the delegate sessions as leadership delegates. So we took some pretty cool roles on there.
Yeah.
And then throughout the summer, we've been working quite a bit on Greenhand Conference. Like you said, it's a big event, so it required a lot of planning, obviously several months, like I mentioned earlier.
Right.
And then we also had the opportunity to attend District Officer Conference, which is facilitated by the state officers, where they kind of talk to us about what our year of service is going to look like and how we can be the best officers for our members.
Right. Awesome. So with that being said, do you have any vision of maybe possibly being the state officer?
Obviously, I haven't decided for sure that I'll run for state office since I still have a couple months left as a district officer before the intent to run is needed to be filled out. But it's definitely something that's always kind of been a goal of mine and something that I'll look at a lot closer as time moves on.
Awesome. So that's definitely opened up a lot of opportunities for you, and that's really cool. Also, last week we had our annual chapters judging contest. So how did that work?
Yeah, so we had this second annual Eagle Classic, and with Greenhand Conference being that same week, I know you as a chapter member can agree, it was kind of a crazy week.
Yeah.
We're super thankful for Kane Austin at HCC for all his hard work to help us put that contest on, because without him, it would have put our chapter under a lot of stress, and Miss Austin, that would have been a lot for her to help with because she's been an amazing district advisor as far as Greenhand and all of that goes.
Right.
So Kane's help was really, really much appreciated. And then Jason Isom kind of spearhead that project of the Eagle Classic. That's kind of one of their main jobs. Having that interest in livestock judging, obviously it's a good fit for them. And they did a really, really good job leading up to that week. I know a lot of ag teachers were super happy with that contest, and coaches from colleges, we heard a lot of good reviews, and it was a really good fundraiser for our chapter. So overall, a week with two really large events like that, I think the chapter handled it super well.
It did go super well. I agree.
All right. So the Pancake Feast coming up. Can you tell us a little bit about how that's going to go down?
Yeah, so October 8th, we will host our annual Pancake Feed, which is obviously an event that FBLA used to do, and then with that transition to FBLA to FFA, that's something we took over, and we know that's an event that's kind of looked forward to in the community, so it's something we're really happy to be able to do. Chapter members have already begun selling tickets, so if you haven't got your tickets, surely you know a chapter member who can get those to you, and if not, we have our Facebook page, Canton-Galva FFA, where there's a post about those tickets on there as well. And chapter members have begun filling out work slots and signing up to bring things, and we've been calling for silent auction items and some of the donations that we require to put that event on. So it's all falling together really nicely, and we're really excited for that event. And with that, in October, we also have our annual Halloween Carnival, which is another cool event.
Correct. So what do we got here? What's the date? The 28th? Or no? What's the
weekend before Halloween.
Right. for the pancake feed?
Oh, the pancake feed is the 8th, and then I think it's like 21st and 22nd is maybe the weekend.
Right.
Those dates could be a little off, but that weekend before Halloween, we hold our Halloween carnival, which just gives kids in our community the opportunity to trick or treat in a safe and fun environment. FFA members, we all dress up, we all host games. It's a really fun event for us. Even we get to set up that day before, and so we'll all be there and excited for that. And hopefully, your elementary school student, if you have one, is starting to get information about that in the next few weeks.
Yeah, awesome. So on one of those dates, if you don't have anything to do, stop by, support your FFA chapter here at Canton-Galva. And the Halloween one's just a good time to just get the kids out, lots of candy. There'll be a lot of kids there, so it's just kind of cool to watch them all run around, do the things, and, kind of mingle around. Also, pancake feed's a great way to come in and get a good meal. I mean, we make really good pancakes.
Pancakes are a little infamous.
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
It's all you can eat. So come in, buy your tickets, and you can eat as much as you want. So that's a good thing to do too. Silent auction's got a lot of cool items to come in and shop for.
That's another thing about the pancake feed. If you don't catch an FFA member before the date of the pancake feed, you can buy those tickets as you come. But we'd prefer you catch an FFA member just so we can kind of ballpark who's going to be there and who's not. But you can definitely come the day of as well.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Also in October, don't you guys have National Convention? Like, when is that?
Absolutely. So that's that week in between when the Halloween carnival would be and actual Halloween. So that week from like the 23rd to the 28th or 9th, whatever it is, we actually have the opportunity to go to Indianapolis. I think we're taking 8 students, and then we'll be taking Jacob Daly will come with us, and then our student teacher for the spring is also going to come along with us for her first national convention experience.
That'd be cool.
And Canton-Galva is super lucky this year in the fact that we actually get to go up on stage at the national convention. So hundreds of thousands of FFA members, and we're one of the chapters who gets to walk on stage. So that's super duper cool. I know all of us are really excited for that. And also, I think on the way out, we're going to tour some tech and ag places, so I think we're going to get to the opportunity to do some virtual reality and some things like that, so that'll be exciting with the group of members who's going. And then obviously, as every year, you sit through sessions with the national officers and hundreds of thousands of FFA members, so that's a really, really cool experience.
Yeah, I know. I get sad every year that I don't get to be able to make it with football season. That's tough, but,
That's one of those things. When we're at school, we have such a great football program, and then, we have the FFA chapter that's doing really good.
It is doing very well. It is definitely one of the top chapters, in our district, and it's really cool to go from nothing 4 years ago to being one of the top and most well-known chapters in our district. That's really cool, and we take a lot of pride in that. So that's really cool to do, and it's taken over. It does a lot for the community too.
Absolutely.
And the community does a lot for us.
Mm-hmm. We are so thankful to have gotten Miss Austin, because she took nothing and took off running with it, and she's helped us build our chapter into something, like you said, something worth having pride in. And that support from the community is without a doubt so important, and we're so thankful for it. I know a lot of people were upset about FBLA, and maybe it took a few months, but then that support that they would previously have given to FBLA quickly turned to FFA, and we couldn't be more thankful for those longstanding supporters and their unconditional help that they've given us.
Right, and some people are still, and FBLA was a great thing for what it did.
We just talked about being, a chapter who's doing well at the district level and stuff like that. Our FBLA chapter, obviously, we all know, we were little, but we all know they did super well at the state level and even the national level. So it was a loss in our community, in our school, but I also think that FFA is doing really, really well filling that loss that we had. I
agree, but also I believe that FFA might be a better fit for our kind of geographic spot where we are.
Absolutely. Being a rural school, it kind of makes sense that we have a leadership organization with an agriculture focus.
Because most of the businesses around here in these small towns are agricultural based. So I think it really helps us understand our area more and kind of work into it. I know a lot of kids lately have been moving to agricultural jobs because they fell in love with FFA and kind of saw how it began to run out. So I think that's been a really cool thing for our school to move into, and I think it's really helped.
Yeah, that's interesting that you mentioned a lot of the businesses in our community being agricultural based, because that is a plus to FFA. Those members that are gaining that agricultural background, or not background, I shouldn't say, but that agricultural knowledge in FFA and agriculture education are those same students who are willing to go to college, go to trade school, or go straight on the job right back in our community. And that's something being in a small town that we should really value, as having kids come back and stay here and work in our community.
100%. And Jacob Daly is one of those that has really kind of took our FFA chapter and ran with it and really helped. And his business has given us a lot for what they have, and it's really been a blessing, and he's really helped us out a huge amount. So we want to thank him again, and he's just awesome. Absolutely. When Jacob was with Terra Financial, he was always a super, super great supporter for us, whether that be helping out at the pancake feed, or even this year, he was one who came to Greenhand conference who wasn't he really had, no reason other than just to lend a helping hand to be there, and we are super thankful he was able to attend that. As he stepped back from his position at Terra Financial, we're really excited for hopefully him to have a little more time to come hang out with us in the ag room, maybe as a sub or something like that. Right. And we're super thankful for all he has done, and really excited to get to take him to National Convention with us. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Well, thank you, Sage, for coming in and talking to us a little about what's going on in the FFA world. Good luck in your competitions that you have coming up and your future. Thank you. It was good to talk to you guys. We'll see you on the next episode.